happy space. It's my happy space alone. Now that I found a little bit of comfort in a spaceship headed right for the stars. Enjoy the trip until I think it's over. I'll get older knowing it was worth the start. So I'ma build a spaceship and fly away. Yeah, I'ma build a spaceship.
Logic now. Logic now.
For you, I'ma watch my mouth. Yo, it's your man Tori Seward. Got my host Holly Griffin. Got my other host Ryan Flaherty. And we I can't just say it. Like I was trying to be.
You're welcome. That's screaming you guys today. I listened to NPR on the way here and it kind of set my vibe, all right? Here we go.
He's my new favorite.
Yeah, I fucking love him. Wait till you hear him on stage. It's good. So, boom. You know, listen, as always, we got comedian Visionary Speaks in the house. We got Erica Switzer in the house.
What's going on?
Comedian Country Boy E Fudge in the house.
What's happening, baby?
And Nicole's here, but Nicole's doing weird Nicole shit. So she's muted and you can't see it right. Yo, before we get this episode started, first, let me just say that this episode and pretty much every episode I'll be doing, will be doing in the future. I'm gonna dedicate this to my cousin Malcolm. About a year and 4 days ago, he lost his life. And I miss you, bro. So rest in peace, Malcolm. Also, sending healing energy to Cinnamon, Hitman Holla's girlfriend. I hope you recover. And I hope whoever did that heinous crime is brought to justice, man. I don't know if y'all watch Wildin' Out, but Hitman Holla is he was on the phone with his girl on FaceTime, and some cats broke into the house. She fired her weapon trying to defend herself. They fired back at her, and unfortunately, she was hit. So sending some healing energy to him and his family and the whole Wildin' Out family as well. That's fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah, this world is crazy. This world is crazy.
In your name, cover people, God.
Word.
That's some grandma stuff right there. Cover people, Lord.
In the blood.
But if you don't know, this episode is gonna be probably gonna end up being more logic than laughs in this episode. This is gonna be our short Chappelle show review and I guess commentary.
Okay.
I'll start it off like this. I watched the whole thing. I watched it a couple of times, and while obviously I'm not a trans person, I can understand where you might feel a certain way about certain things. My first issue is gonna be like that there was a lot of shit in there that honestly that threw me off from Chappelle. Like he went a little dark. As far as like the pedophile joke, I thought that was like, oh shit, like whoa. Like I just don't want to think about a kid coming on a fucking past his face. Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just kind of weird to me that wasn't brought up. Or nobody had an issue with that. I've watched a lot of things online, like a lot of things. I've watched a lot of people's opinion, whether they for or against it. And I just think to say the word attack, like we gotta be, if we're asking a person to be particular and careful in their wording, then the critics should be doing the same. So to say like he's attacking somebody, attacking a group, when the entire Chappelle show was black jokes on our community, on our behalf. Like I didn't see nobody going out and protesting when he did the reparations episode. And that made us all look like we just ignorant motherfuckers that's just like gonna go out and buy a bunch of chains and jewelry and roll dice games and shit like that. So like for me, like me personally, when for me for equality means that I'm going out and I'm protesting for anybody. There was an issue with the LGBT community out in Oneonta. I was out there protesting. If it's cops shooting black people, I'm out there protesting. Police shot a young white man in the back twice. I was up there protesting. That's all facts. You can all Google it and see it. So my biggest problem is it was funny, and I hear a lot of people saying, well, I hear a lot of people in the trans community saying, I used to love Chappelle back in the day. So what that's telling me is when he was making fun of us, it was okay. And the second you got thrown into the pot of the jokes, well, then it's not okay anymore. And I just don't think anybody is watching Chappelle's show. And I could be wrong. There's always outliers. There's always exceptions to the rule. But I just don't think a person is watching that episode, that special, and then gonna go, well, now I have to go out and abuse trans. Anybody else is welcome to take the floor. I just wanted to open it up with my thoughts. And remember, we all gonna respect each other's opinions and thoughts, obviously.
Nobody want to go next? All right, Holly, I'll take this one.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hey guys, it's me again. So since you guys are probably like the biggest like cis stuff in the room right now, I'm gonna try to be pretty like calm about my take, obviously. But one of the things that I thought was cool about it was that there was a joke that the punchline is space juice and it has nothing to do with this cancellation attempt at all. I thought that was kind of crazy. I like that. I don't think that, like, for me personally, I'm gonna not like listen to him ever again. I feel like, you know, like I get like that it's an art, and you know what I mean. Everybody does their own thing with it. That being said, I can understand why some people are upset. You know, like I get it, but I'm not gonna be the one that's going to go out there and protest against it. I guess because personally, I don't have. You know what I mean? I have all respect for it, but I also have respect for an artist doing what they need to do. And so, like, I'll respect his take on it. Now it's silent because I really don't think that, but
I mean, I agree. I think, you know, like the thing that Holly sent in the group chat, I watched that dude and like he made a couple of good points. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, he made a point of blackface.
Tell them what you're talking about first. They don't know the group chat.
Oh, we have a group chat, Logic and Laughs, and Holly sent in a review, a negative review from a TikTok user. I don't really remember the dude's name, and he got enough files, so you don't need to have. And one of the points that he made that kind of stuck out to me when he was like, saying, that back in the days, that blackface was funny back in the days. And it's like, I don't think you fully understand what blackface was back in the days. If you're acquainting blackface being white people thinking blackface was funny, and whether or not people think jokes about the trans community is funny. Like, blackface was meant to simply point out and demean every single part of us, from the black lips to all of this. And then like, even to hear people say like, well, Dave Chapelle has been anti-trans his whole career, or was it transphobic or whatever. And it's like, this man had arguably one of the greatest sketch shows of all time. I'm gonna need you to show me where in that the trans jokes came. I think as you come more to the forefront, like, comedy has a tendency to focus on. If you look at the early 80s and 90s, like when we started really like when basketball players started getting money and our culture started becoming more to the forefront as far as hip hop and all these other things. What happened? Every time a white person would talk to me in high school or this or that or whatever, they would try to come from a hip hop standpoint, would try to, or remember like the little after school specials and the little things that we do. It will always be from a hip hop standpoint, would it not? And we don't all listen to hip hop.
I'm gonna let everybody go, but I just want to say this. I ain't got shit to say about it. I get it. I understand it. This America, we just gotta adapt, baby. We gotta adapt. Everybody upset about something, and if you, hey, I understand it, and the shit that I heard on it, yeah. But even the coming on the damn people, the dude face, I understood where he was coming from. Cause if you look at it, the preacher always touching somebody, and the other kid 9 times out of 10 they didn't like it. Chappelle say, "Yeah, flipped it, bitch. I like this shit. Hell, he asked for it." So, like, I understand where he coming from with that, and it depends on it. If you know who he is, ain't nowhere in hell you should watch it. Like, I get it, I get it, but like Tory, like no, Holly or little ain't Tory Dick. Damn, what's your name?
His name is Ryan.
I almost call the man in the basement. I almost call the man in the basement.
He got more nicknames than any of us. Shit. He gonna have a new nickname.
But bro,
Ryan is a rapper. That's somebody from Wu-Tang.
What I'm saying, like, if I'm in the audience and he make a joke about black people, if the fucking joke funny, I won't slap the shit out of him. I'ma laugh. Cause
Agreed.
I understand the joke. It's not that he's saying all niggas like chicken. He just saying he had to race 12 of the motherfuckers to the Chick-fil-A cause it wasn't to be no more chicken. Like, I get it. I get the joke. So, like, as far as like now the ending what he told about what it was, Daphne or the you won't hear nothing about that there though. You won't hear nothing about that.
I was actually just about to talk about that.
How they say he was punching down on them, but then when she just said, "Hey, I've been knowing the man. He gave me an opportunity. I sat and I talked to him, and that ain't who he is." And then they drag her, and she do what she did. Like, I get it, but it ain't no. Even if it is two sides, motherfucker, it got to land on one side. It got to. And however you take it, you got to look at your goddamn self and understand that, okay, it's something in me that can identify with that. Stop being in denial of every goddamn thing. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But don't go see it and then criticize the goddamn man because you already know who he is.
I mean, but you got to watch it to see if you're going to like it.
Yes, but if you already know,
but you
know who Dave Chapelle is.
Yeah, if you go to a Mexican, like, you know what I'm saying? If you go to like Chipotle, like, you already know what you're getting. Like, you might not have eaten there before, but like you know what Chipotle is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I go and
Do you know what? Chipotle?
like if I go, I was just trying to, you know, what?
Talking about food, that shit sounds good.
First of all, that's not how you say it. So white people then corrupted all of y'all is saying that shit the white way. Ask a Hispanic person how you say Chipotle.
They're not gonna say Chipotle.
Yes, they are. How much
They
one?
may say Chipotle, but they're not gonna say Chipotle.
That's what I just said. I just didn't put the little accent on it.
Chipotle.
I
That's
don't
some
eat
real Chipotle. She is
My
hilarious.
anyway, my goddamn point is, y'all motherfuckers.
You
Chipotle.
forgot your point.
I
I
call it
know.
Chipotle.
Excuse me.
there. Okay, who next?
That's some
Who next on
Chipotle
the
right there.
Round.
Rick Burr.
who next?
Yo,
to
I'm trying this
elaborate?
like this THC fucking nano shit.
Who next
I
to
don't know.
elaborate?
Yeah, it's doing something.
I don't know.
It's
This is
definitely doing something.
It's doing something.
everybody quiet about this shit. Nobody want to get in trouble. Nobody
No,
want to start.
I'm really waiting on Holly to
Yo, thank you,
make her
visionary.
point.
First of all, before I get started, can y'all hear me clearly?
Yes.
Better.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
So I think what EJ said about people knowing what it is before you get into it, and you know, if you know you're not going to like it, maybe not watch it. Especially because there wasn't a single person that hadn't already seen the news break about, you know, what the issues with the special were. Everyone had already seen that there were some like transphobic comments, whatever. So if you already have the expectation that that's what it's going to be, maybe don't watch it.
Okay.
Because maybe it's a media that wasn't kind of meant for you. As for Dave's comments about the trans community, stuff like that, I don't think he's a transphobe. I think he's just not educated enough on the topic. And if he knew what things were actually offensive to trans people, he could joke about it in a better way. Because I think he's a very good comedian. Like I really enjoyed the joke that he had advocating for trans people to have their, you know, the right bathrooms, where he talked about being at Walmart and how he would be uncomfortable if a woman with a huge dick just came up right next to him. I thought that was
Straight
hilarious.
Hilarious.
And as someone who's like in the LGBT community, I thought it was really fucking funny. And I think that shows right there that there are good and positive ways to joke about trans people that are not degrading. And I think I also enjoyed the story at the end because that shows more that he's not transphobic. Obviously, he admired this woman.
Even though she sucked.
Yeah, even though she sucked.
That's fine. We all suck at first. Most comedians.
But
So.
he, you know, when he
But
met
she-
her after the show and really like actually saw something in her, saw that she was
She
funny,
taught him.
and took that chance, you know.
Yeah, she
Dave
taught him.
Chapelle didn't need to do that shit, especially not where he was in his career. He didn't need to take that chance on anybody. But he saw someone who was talented, and regardless of the fact that she was a trans woman, decided to give her a chance, which I think also proves that he's not a transphobe.
Come closer.
What?
Come closer, please.
Closer than that.
Come closer.
Come closer. All right, and I'm just gonna end it with this. I think if he knew more trans people and just kind of spent time with them and figured out what's actually funny within the community, like what kind of things they joke about, he would be able to more accurately talk about it. But as it stands, my total thing here is that I don't think he should be making jokes about them. Until, like he said, we're all sure that we're laughing together. Which is me just turning his own phrase back on himself. He needs to make sure that he is laughing with them when he makes these jokes, and he's not. And this backlash is that the community is showing him that.
Okay. Now here's my question. How do you know that he didn't meet with Flame Monroe, with T.S. Madison, or those are just two like sort of kind of like, I mean, Flame's already defended him. She was on CNN with Don Lemon and defended him, and she's a trans black comedian.
Right.
So I just think we're all making the assumption that he didn't sit down with a bunch of trans people and maybe go over these jokes with that community, and they're like, nah, I think that shit is funny. Nah, I think that shit is funny. Because like there's certain jokes like that EJ might find funny, right? That a white comic might say about black people, like EJ might find funny, but I might not like. Visionary might not like. So I just think like as minorities, we should all just be on each other's sides, period, and just be like, yo, this dude made some jokes, ha ha ha, we're all laughing at each other. Just like we can laugh at all of the small, ridiculous things about our community. But if we don't start laughing about the bad and the good in our community and don't realize that at the end of the day, the enemy is the racist white man, and it's us versus these motherfuckers, which he said several times in his shit. Like, because I can make the argument that none of the story with Daphne does not prove that he's not transphobic, because fuck, Tucker Carlson could parade a black dude out there and be like, "See, I like niggers." Like,
I got one black friend. Yeah.
like, yeah. So I don't think that proves or disproves anything. I think it shows that he is a human being and that he has a tendency to view people like as such. You know what I'm saying? Like where like because now it's to the point where even if a person finds like, how do I know if I say I'm a comedian, I don't know a trans person, and I want to write a joke about a situation that I saw, like how I came up with the joke about the like music when I'm old, the window to the wall. I want to actually tell the actual story of what happened that night and how I came up with that bit. But I'm afraid now that if I say that bit and I tell that story exactly how it happened, that there's a chance that like a person in the LGBTQ community might be like, I don't fucking like that. And then other people go, I don't even know the whole situation, but this person in our community said they don't like it, so fuck that. We all don't like it now. You know what I'm saying? What's up, EJ?
No, cause that's how I go right now, man. That's how I go. One person, you say you don't like something.
Nobody got their own mind. Nobody has their own mind. Most people
Exactly.
Oh,
So,
good.
well, can I ask Holly something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Holly, what part? Because you talked about the good crafted jokes about trans people and things like that. What jokes did you find to be offensive?
One of the ones where he was talking about how he beat up a lesbian. I didn't like that one because he started to call her the opposite gender on purpose simply because she's a masculine presenting lesbian. I thought that was a little offensive. He was like, this fella was just ready to square up with me. So he's proving right there that he thinks that it's funny to not call someone by the gender that they are.
But remember, he said in the beginning of that joke, he didn't know she was a girl. He's telling you the story now after, like when I told you the story about when I was like, I've never hit a woman before, except for one time in my life. She hit me in the head with a brick. I didn't know she was a girl until after I hit her back. So if you hear the beginning of that story, oh shit, Tori hit a girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just think like we have a tendency, like certain shit, like just like trigger us right now. Like I ain't gonna front. Like I used to love Bill Maher, and then now like I'm to the point like whenever he says something, it don't even necessarily be that bad. I just be hot with it, like nah, because I feel like now he's getting to a point where he's ascending to that point of a Democrat that's like, I know what's best for you niggas better than you know what's best for you niggas. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, man. I'll tell you what joke I didn't like. I wasn't really a fan of that was a trans joke. Was the turf thing. Like I didn't like the way he phrased it. Like because I mean for me like at the end of the day, science don't give a fuck what you choose to call yourself. Because if I decide that I'm you know what I'm saying, if let's say me for instance, I'm a trans woman, I still have a prostate. Still gonna have to go get the 2 fingers, correct? Like that's how that works?
Mhm.
Or does all that do they take out your prostate? Wait, can you take out your prostate? Or do you need it forever?
I have no idea.
That just
Like,
illustrates how we don't know all these
Right.
intricacies of what the trans community has to go through. So of course, it does behoove us to do the research before we say anything. I just have to real quick say, I didn't see the special. Nobody had a Netflix password to hook a sister up.
Okay. So hold on.
I was
You
going
said
to.
you needed a Netflix password. Tori said, let me see what I can figure out. So I saw those two messages, and I said, oh, I could put my Netflix password in here. No. Tori said he was going to take care of it. And then he sent a message last night at like, what, 9-10 o'clock? It was like, shit, I don't have Netflix no more. And I was like, fuck, well, I could have given it to Erica, but I thought he took care of it.
I said,
Listen,
let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can
Was
do.
he gonna come up with the password?
I imagined a conversation that happened between you and Erica privately where you gave her a password. And then in my brain, I was like, Tori's got it taken care of. Because I just figured that's what happened.
Well, I also forgot I was broke because I ain't been on Netflix in a minute. So when the nigga went to click on Netflix, it's like, nah, nigga, you ain't watching not a near thing right here. I had to go, Christine, what's your how you work the Netflix on this remote?
So speaking from a bystander's perspective at this point, and from the perspective of somebody who is so doggone comedy networked, where I've seen opposing viewpoints from people in Chicago, people in LA, people in New York, the trans comedians in DC. Like I've seen everybody's opinions. And at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is comedy is an art form that involves targets. And anybody can get it. If you're a really crafted storyteller and joke writer like Dave is, and all the team around Dave, they can craft these stories and craft these things so crystal clear where we're automatically brought into the world of the joke. We automatically are going to be set up like, oh, that shit was fire. Or as we're already saying, now I didn't really like how we did that. And we get a chance to do some inside baseball shit on, I didn't like how he did that. Because as comedians, we can think of about 11 ways to fix that and make it have a softer landing or not cut as much. But at the end of the day, if it's 4:58 on a Wednesday afternoon and I'm pissed off at my boyfriend because he left the damn toilet seat up and left my couscous out, and I hear a joke that's damn funny all the time, but I'm in a mood, I'm gonna miss that joke. So let's not think that there hasn't been a whole bunch of people that's felt some kind of way and decided, oh, well, damn it, Dave, and invented spleen on social media. So again, y'all are intelligent people. You've all seen it. You think for yourselves. I appreciate the convo, and I'm just here spectating. Appreciate it.
Nah, we gonna. I mean, unless anybody else has.
Nigga, you know I got something to say.
Okay.
Okay, I was just waiting for people to go because you know I'm so poignant about my day. But I first of all, I just want to say, as a person who is from Detroit and lives in Detroit and went to that goddamn Detroit show, that was not the same show that I saw. Ain't that about it, bitch? I'm so fucking pissed because like Dave is like he's in the moment. So when at my show at 11 p.m. in Detroit, being the last show on like a Wednesday, I did not get all those jokes. And he had a lot of hecklers, so I didn't get to get the whole judge that he was giving. So I was glad I got to see it on TV because I thought that nigga was gonna bomb. Based off the show that I saw, I was like, this is not gonna be good. I hope he got something else, and I'm glad that he did. So I'll start there. But once again, like all of you been saying, comedy is art. And you can look at it and think about it however you want to. And what Dave is he's a skilled storyteller. And what I really like about the special is the overall bigger picture, which if you didn't watch it or if you aren't thinking about things from a biased perspective, you don't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is just like, how can we move our community forward to be more of a cohesive unit with y'all? That's what I saw. when he was talking about, he even gave praise to the LGBTQIA community about how far their movement has went, you know, and how much they have done. And it's kind of like a little bit of like a jealousy of like, damn, y'all making strides. Like, we've been doing this shit for over 400 years, and y'all are boom, y'all are passing us up, you know. And like, I saw that like there's an appreciation there for the community, but there is some criticism too, because I like the story that he told when he talked about the girl at the bar, the trans woman, the mom that he met, and then he saw her at the bar with the two gay Black dudes, and she was there. And as soon as he, you know, kind of turned her off or challenged her, she became, in sense, a white man, or even a white woman, and called the police on him. And he's like, like, you turn so quickly, you know, when you pick and choose when you got your privilege, and when you don't, when you're a minority and when you're not. And that's where the difference came between the Black communities movement and the LGBTQIA movement, because there are also Black people in the LGBTQIA movement who feel like they're not being heard and not being respected on that side. And they are still in danger far more than any gay, trans, you know, white male or female. So they're also like within, and another thing is, I don't like that people didn't get so outraged. I was more outraged over him saying that he could lead the women's movement. Like, nobody said anything about him. Like, the thing that the women's movement is a man to lead it.
That's the power.
Nobody said anything about that. Like, it was so, and one thing that Dave does is he shoots at everybody. He will take shots at everybody. That's what I respect about him. He got the same power that Family Guy has and all these other Jewish shows have, where they shoot at everybody, but you don't see the same retribution. Ain't nobody trying to take down South Park. And yes, they had their little moments, but nobody's like, cancel South Park forever, you know, based off of the shit that they've done in Family Guy. But when he gets up there and he shoots at everybody, he gets canceled, you know? So I don't understand that equal opportunity shit, because it doesn't work for Black men. And that's not fair.
Yeah.
So I love the special. I thought that it was very creative. I thought that he had many homages to the trans community. Of course, I'm an ally, but I'm also on the outside. You know, I can't be in there with y'all. And I think that he's done a good job of trying to educate himself. On multiple specials, he talked about, I went to my trans friend. I went over here. I asked these questions. And although he may never, and he will never, have a full scope view of what it means to be trans, I do see him trying, and I don't think people give him that effort. I don't see a lot of comedians who bring up the actual issues of trans people as much as he does. And even though I think he's doing that shit way too much, and I hope he doesn't talk about the trans community or LGBT
Great.
again.
Think enough is,
Yeah, I'll never need to hear about it again. But I think the things that he said has been prolific. I think the things that he said has sparked conversation and dialogue. And I think that he should be commended for that, for at least bringing up issues that some comedians just make fun of. He's not like trying to make fun of them. He's trying to understand like the different dynamics. Of course, he gonna fuck up and say some shit he shouldn't say, because he ain't in the
So you feel like it's groundbreaking what he's doing, even though it's not all perfect and it's not totally well thought out and totally educated. You know, he's at 20 years from now, we're going like, okay, he was the person that started bridging these two people.
Start having these conversations.
Together, the Black community. Yeah.
Absolutely, because look at this. We wouldn't be talking about this right now, about issues between the LGBTQIA community and the Black community, if it wasn't for his special. You know, a lot of times we try to separate ourselves in those two communities, and we don't see how much we are alike. And it's a shame, because we beat up each other within the Black community. It seems like it's happening in the trans community too, if you're against the plight of the whole. If you're against like the people who's speaking for everybody, or not even watching the special and making comments, then you the one who's making all the rave. But we're more alike than we are different.
And I respect.
People are alike, but not the same. And I think that with the whole understanding, people, that's for anything. Like, I don't understand. I was never in your shoes. But you could try to understand, motherfuckers. You could try. That's the whole thing with the whole understanding shit. You can always a fucking effort. I don't really have much to say. I watched it because it's helping me be educated. So I'm a high school teacher, and the other day somebody was like, Nick, when you gonna leave? Stop working full time and try to take on comedy? That's another journey. But I like being around these high school kids because they're educating me about all this stuff. You know what I mean? And I appreciate them. Now, for me, I have a foster brother that is now a woman, and I have a foster sister that is a lesbian. We grew up together from 1980. I've been knowing these motherfuckers for 40 years in the same household, right? And I've got material that I want to talk about, but I'm not putting that shit out until I perfect this shit, so I'm not offending no motherfucking body. You understand? Like, this is my life story. I got foster sisters that had babies, teen mothers. Everybody in my household is about to be talked about. Ain't nobody exempt. I don't care if you like chub dicks in your mouth. I don't care if you like coochie all the time. Everybody in this household that molded me, everybody getting talked about, but I'm not putting the shit out there because I don't want to offend nobody. And I know my shit is not offensive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching people like him of what not to say. I still want to be authentic. This shit is a classroom at this point.
We dodging our own laser beams. Like you talked about 2 specials ago. We all dodging our own laser beams. There's a whole bunch of shit I want to say about China. I can't say shit about China all over China. Nobody want to hear shit about China. And it's like, okay, damn. We just go like, fuck the past 5 years of Erica's life. It's like,
You don't think fat people get tired of y'all talking about us? Like, get this shit right. Get y'all fucking fat people jokes together, okay? You single bitches who can't keep a man. Get y'all shit together when you talk about us. Like, everybody is this is a sensitive ass fucking globe lately. Especially, and maybe it should be. Maybe it should be. So
I just too sensitive. I think like, all right, like I had a very interesting conversation with Donna. And we were talking about the honeymooners. And she's like, yo, like that was like, we were talking about the big TV shows and stuff growing up. And that was a big TV show for her growing up. So I was like, yeah, I don't like that show. I never liked that show. And she like, what you mean? I was like, even when I was a kid, I ain't like it. Like his catchphrase was punching his fucking wife in the face. Like, how is that funny? You know what I'm saying? And then like, so I ended up having this conversation with another comedian later that day because I was at an open mic and I was bringing up all the same talking points I was bringing up with Donna. And he looked at me and he was like, this is the problem like with the world now. Like we, used to be able to say like whatever you wanted. And I'm like, there's a difference between saying whatever you want. Like when you're in a position like, yo, you ever heard the term like laughs in a barrel? Barrel of laughs? It used to be a term used a lot. Like, oh man, that's a barrel of laughs. That term comes from back in the days. Black people weren't allowed to laugh in public. You had to stick your head in a fucking barrel to laugh. I don't know why that.
Who is laughing, yo?
You know who it is.
Right.
Y'all know why it is. So come on.
Yeah.
I'm not. But it's still like but you know what I'm saying? So like back then, like, oh, we used to we used to do blackface and we did these other things. It's like, yeah, because if we complained about it, you killed us. Like, of course, like, you know what I'm saying? If a woman would have said, I'm pretty sure, like, when in a world of the rule of thumb, if a woman would have said, hey, I don't like this TV show, it's not funny, I don't want to think about a man beating me, well, then you had the rule of thumb popping back then. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's a big difference between that and now, like, going back 10, 15 years and somebody touched the titty. Like, I'm not saying like they shouldn't have some sort of repercussions for what they did. Of course they should. But I don't know. Like we gotta look at the whole of the thing. Or we just be ending people before like shit even like we even know anything. Look at the Justin Bieber situation or Ezekiel Elliott. Like there's countless others that aren't bigger name people who like it's just said. You know what I'm saying? And then like this shit is over with. Like there's a big difference between that type of cancellation and respecting other people's shit. And I just got to look at the whole. Like I got to look at the whole of a person. Like for instance, like Mark Wahlberg came out against everything during the terrible three with Ahmed Aubrey, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, and like a bunch of people like dragged him on Twitter and was like, "Oh, you went to jail for beating up an old man back." Like we all know what Mark Wahlberg did. It wasn't a secret. But like, yo, he was 17. He did some terrible things to an old man. It was brutal what he did. It was bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the dude at all. But like he did it, learned that lesson from it, apparently changed his life and went on. You don't hear him still out here. He's not a Tucker Carlson or a Sean Hannity where every day they still repeating the same hateful talking points. Like we have to be able to differ like between the two. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't just be like, oh shit, we just gonna throw them in a box. That's why I think when I hear people say, I think a lot of people push back with Dave Chapelle, one, because Dave is their hero. Like for a lot of people, not just comedians, not just black comedians, but he's a hero to a lot of people, like and an inspiration. And then on top of that, to put him in a box with a Tucker Carlson, a Sean Hannity, and all of these other guys from Fox News and these type of people who are now defending him. We all know why. They always defending Nicki Minaj. They was all defending Kanye West. But don't act like when Kanye West ain't take that shit out that white girl hand, they wasn't all like, goddamn monkey getting on the stage. So I can't stand that people are using that as a talking point too. Like, oh, look, Fox News is defending, is standing with Dave Chapelle. That don't mean Dave Chapelle is standing with Fox News. All they doing is doing what racist ass white people have done in this country forever. Is the second they get an opportunity to use a nigga, they use a nigga.
Woosah. Woosah.
That went off.
Woosah. Come on. Woosah.
Nah, I'm just,
we went down the rabbit hole right there.
I'm just saying, I'm making the point is I'm making valid points. And the overall point is like I just don't think to put Dave, just say we need to make another, I don't know, trans people, make another term. I don't know, but there shouldn't be like just everybody goes into the box of transphobic. Like, are we seriously like that's like I commit a crime, I kill somebody, you litter, and we all going into the same, we sitting in the same jail cell. Like that's crazy to me. Like I didn't like everything that Dave. I'm not saying I agreed or liked everything that Jay said. Like I didn't like the Turk thing, whatever that is. I don't even fully understand that yet. But like, and I'm reading up on it, so I'm not really commenting on it because what I read so far is still confusing. And fuck J.K. Rowling, that bitch a billionaire. I don't give a fuck. Billionaire.
Oh Lord.
Nicole, I want to throw things at you sometimes. But yo, listen, we gonna move on from Chappelle, man.
Wait. Before we go on, before we go on, I just want to say that I think the overreaching problem is that we're not, and the issue with cancel culture is because you want to not have a conversation, and that's what I think is the huge problem with anything that comes up that you feel differently about. People are ready to just cut you off. And a lot of times people don't do their research, and a lot of times people don't watch the actual thing that's being said. They just look at headlines and they base their opinions off of them. And you can't start your opinion based off a headline. That's just not doing your research. It's not doing a due diligence. And the problem why we can't be together as a community is because nobody wants to talk about this shit. Everybody wants to be heard, but don't nobody want to fucking listen. And that's the problem is us not being able to hear each other. Like, it's okay that what you're dealing with and the struggle that you have is valid. So is mine, So I think when we cancel out each other and say that one thing is more important than the other, or you hurt my feelings, so only my feelings matter, like that shit needs to end because we're not progressing that way, because we're not listening to each other. But that's a problem. Too many people trying to be popular. They don't want to hear the real story. They don't want to actually solve the problem. They just want to hear themselves talk, get some credit, and get the fuck on until the
But isn't that people? Isn't that us in general? Even a regular conversation, regular conflict. So we just doing what human people been doing in proper communication for generations.
Yeah, but it didn't used to have to be like popping. People weren't always looking for credibility through going viral and things like that.
Well, we also a lazy. It's also a lazy human race. Nobody reads anymore. Nobody researches and do their own.
No.
You know, parallel. You know, I live in the hood. Hold up.
God damn.
Cross the alleys and shit. I'm going for my motherfucking walk.
I mean,
I'm going for my walk.
Yo, if this motherfucking nano didn't kick in right now, yo, I'd be spazzing. Yo, well, listen, yo, but here's the thing, though. In all honesty, like we really need to remember though, and this is dead serious though. We transitioning, man. And we gotta start worrying about these motherfucking androids, nigga. Do y'all remember Sophie?
Yeah.
So Sophie was the first android or artificial intelligence to gain citizenship.
Wasn't it Saudi Arabia?
Come on, man. Come on.
Yes.
Come on, man. For real. For real. For real. That's what you've been talking about.
That's a segue. This is a segue to this shit. Oh,
yes.
Shit.
That's what we about to talk about because this thing wants to have a baby.
I'd rather talk about Dave Chapelle and the LG.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
What?
This might be us a Lil Nas X.
Hold on, Tori. You say who finna have a baby? Lil Nas X.
He already had a baby.
He had the baby.
Yeah, he already had the baby, bro. What you talking about? It was like number 3 on the billboards or some shit like that.
And it wasn't the baby. It was just
Hold on. I'm confused.
His baby was the album.
He doesn't even know what it's on.
Okay.
Yes. And secondly, we gonna talk about what the fuck I researched, which is this goddamn. Y'all not worried about a fucking android? I bet you when your ass is ducking laser beams and shit, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this nigga was right. We should have paid attention." The fucking artificial intelligence wants to have a baby. It wants to have a baby.
This is really important to you. We all gonna die from all this shit.
Tori.
We not paying attention to what's happening. There's parallel universes being discovered with credible evidence. There's fucking androids being citizens and wanting to have babies. There's fucking like there's these new pictures and fucking fluid and shit being found in germs being found on Mars. We're not talking about none of that shit because we talk about COVID and Dave Chapelle and fucking racism and all this dumb shit still. Nobody paying attention to what's happening. We're making great leaps and bounds in the world.
Wow.
All right.
Hey, man.
What y'all concerned with? Because I'm not talking about Dave no more.
Am I really the only one that's excited to talk about this android wanting a baby?
Apparently.
Yeah, cause you the only white boy on the show.
Listen, I could donate my uterus to Android. Fuck it, y'all want it?
Listen here, man. Listen here.
Hold up. Did Nicole just say she want to give her uterus to an android?
Yeah, I donate to my uterus to anybody who wants this shit. No, I'm serious now.
What happened to EJ?
Fuck another human being you want, I'll donate all this shit. Y'all can have it. Android, another human being, take the motherfucker.
Hey. So is you talking about a robot want to have a baby?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he said.
A robot. They made a robot, bro.
Tori.
What?
No, that Marvel DC shit, man.
I can imagine when you become an old man, Tori, you won't be.
Oh, he gonna be
taking
fucking
Yeah.
reading these kids' ears off, nigga. Like,
Oh my God.
like goddamn, there go that old nigga.
First time. Hey, visionary.
He gonna FaceTime us. Did y'all hear about this shit over here?
Visionary.
Look at my screen. Bring it in a little bit.
Hey, little dude out the basement.
Look, read it, EJ. Read it. Read the screen.
Yeah.
Man, y'all see.
We believe you. We
All
not
right.
saying it's not true.
So that's not. I'm just saying that's a scary thing. It's scary.
Okay.
The list of things that's scary in this world right now.
Okay.
That's not one of them.
Okay. So what? The robot told somebody this?
The robot's only 4 years old.
No, hold on. The robot.
It's only 4 years old.
So
remember when
the robot told his owner this?
The robot walk around, bro. It's an android. It's a citizen.
It's probably artificial intelligence, like our robot and all this other shit.
Saudi Arabia.
This nigga be having me rolling, bro. It's the excitement for me.
Absolutely.
Don't you say that about Saudi Arabia, nigga.
I'm more worried about the fact that it's only 2 human aisles in Myers and Walmart and all these other places. That's what the fuck y'all need to be worried about.
All this self-checkout shit?
All this self-checkout shit.
Yo, that shit crazy.
There used to be a person that worked here that no longer works here. So while y'all sitting at home off them stimulus checks thinking y'all gonna make it, you better take your ass back to work before they replace you.
But here's my question though. How come the prices ain't dropping though? Because that's mad hours you not paying no more, fam. And I should get a deal for swiping my shit.
Yeah. Because you working for your own shit.
They just getting richer. That's all that is. Less people getting more money.
Nicole, make sure you stretch after your workout.
I will, bro. Baby. Yeah, I'm about to meet my future husband. I'm walking, me and my future husband about to go for a walk, so I'm meeting him. Y'all ain't sucking up my dick tonight. I'm not gonna be on this motherfucker all night.
Like she about to go meet up with the weekend. Ooh, the lights are shining.
Listen, fuck Dave Chapelle, fuck Android. I don't give a fuck. I'm
must
going to
be
get
some
my
good.
dick tonight.
Hey, Nicole,
you going to get your dick from the stove?
I'm telling you, I'm like,
no, we haven't fucked yet. We
dating. Where your dick on? Where your dick on the counter? On the shelf at the bodega?
No, he lives like 10 minutes away from me, so we just doing a meetup walk. You know what I mean? So I'm about to meet him on the corner.
Took the podcast to the
I'm almost there.
I want to meet this young man. Young man.
Yo, listen, you better put us on speakerphone when you meet this nigga, because I'm going to roast your ass so you don't get no dick.
This is why you don't put it on speakerphone.
I'm not fucking my shit up. Fuck y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't fucking my shit up. I'm going to hang this whole shit up.
Hey, Nicole.
I would prefer if you did hang it up. You're fucking up my audio, nigga. You're walking around, dogs is barking, horns is honking and shit. I will not feel bad right now if you hung up. I was hoping you was going to hit us with the accidental crackle. Guys, I'm losing ya.
Erica, you was over there in what? China? Okay.
She done found him, nigga. Look, she done found him. That's what she's so happy.
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's my boyfriend. That's social work or whatever. Fuck it. Oh no.
What?
Okay. Well, we see you happy.
Now we gonna have to pay that lady some money one day when we blow up.
I told her you my future boyfriend and shit, knowing damn well.
I was.
Erica, while you was over there in China, did you see any robots walking around?
She ain't seen no robots except for the ones on her ears.
Unfortunately, I still like men. Unfortunately, I like dick. Unfortunately.
Nicole, I ain't got the goddamn phone.
Yes. Bye, Nicole. Bye, Nicole. We love you. No, later. Bye.
She having
Bobby,
food
Dr.
conversations
Jerry, bye,
outside.
Sugar, bye, Tori. We trying to be fat, so we walking. Goodbye.
She having a whole conversation. Niggas just stop talking to fucking Nicole.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Erica, did you see any robots walking around in China?
Whew, I don't know. I shouldn't necessarily plead the fifth because it don't apply for over there. But
No, they smart.
I had a whole session where I was teaching my ninth graders about Sophia the robot and all the wearable technology that's been coming out. That's a real fucking thing. The whole time, ever since Tori started talking about robots, Terminator 2 theme song been in the back of my damn head ever since. Because it's true. This shit is a little bit scary and it's starting to get out of control. So we need to kind of watch for that instead of arguing about who Dave didn't offend it now.
Exactly. They go in the whole space.
First of all,
right.
President Obama saved us from having to deal with some shit a lot sooner than we would have. Because
It's like the Chappelle sketch.
They were gonna let Watson learn military tactics. Why?
Who the hell is Watson?
Skynet. Goddamn it.
It's
Game show robot.
It's like it's the world's smartest computer. Like it's a super computer.
And he can walk?
No. No, this one can't walk. Not yet anyway. This one is just like a building, pretty much. Like it's
like all those scary movies with the computer and the little tube, and she can just store face anywhere.
IBM's supercomputer place. But the point is they wanted to teach this thing military tactics, and thank God President Obama was in office at that time, because he got slight nigga brain. Because listen, he might be like 90-10. He's probably 90% black, 10% nigga, because he got a mix. We all got a mix. What your percentages are is up to your life experiences, but we all got the mix. I'm 80-20. But that 10% was like, teach a robot to kill, nigga. Nah, we not doing none of that. And putting in something on an injunction or whatever the fuck, so nobody could change that shit. At least not Trump, thank God.
So hold on. I'm gonna have to Google some of this shit. So you mean to tell me it's a robot over in Saudi Arabia that's walking around that could come to the United States on an airplane by herself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With her handler.
Oh,
so Hanson Robotics is who made it. So David Hanson.
It's that arrow. Thought you got a slave on her.
The robots is gonna run. Watch, we talking about the LGBTQIA movement. The robot movement gonna move fast as fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna move by wiping our asses out when they realize we the problem.
Hey, the only way movement go forward is violence. And the robots is gonna come through spraying. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna beat us. They're gonna beat all of our ass. They're gonna have all this shit together in about 2 weeks.
I know EJ ain't gonna like this, but Stan Lee was a bit of a he and Jack Kirby, they added a lot of stuff in there towards civil rights and different things like that. And there's an episode that they ended up using this. There's a line from a comic book that they ended up using in an episode of the Uncanny X-Men cartoon that used to come on back in the days. And the Sentinels were meant to kill mutants. That's what they tracked down to kill mutants. And the head Sentinel took over. And the scientist that created him said, "Hey, what are you doing? You were supposed to kill mutants and not humans." And the Sentinel goes, "Illogical. Mutants are humans," and then kills this dude. That's one of my that's one of my favorite, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just wish, like, as a whole, we all understood that as a people.
Yes. We are not against each other. It's not black versus white. It's not us versus the LGBTQIA. It's us Versus the motherfucking machines, people.
Trying
They
to
all
tell
fucking
you.
kill us. They all gonna kill us all. They've been winning this whole fucking time. They got y'all squabbling on fucking Facebook and social media and TikTok and shit. It's the machines that's killing us. It's the machines, I tell you.
Thank you for finally seeing things my way.
Not black versus white, it's black versus silver.
All right.
Shit.
And chrome. Whatever the fuck else they'll be made out of.
Yeah, y'all, I feel like every day I
Stainless
wake up,
steel?
it's 1,000 ways to die. It's like so many things that's gonna kill us. If it's not the fucking ozone layer, it's the fucking racism. If it's not the fucking racism, it's the fucking technology. If it's not the fucking technology, it's the fucking coronavirus. If it's not the fucking coronavirus, it's the fucking terrorist attack. What the fuck is going on? Everything will kill you. And if it ain't that, it's just regular standard table salt.
This is America. This is America.
Everything will kill you.
Where wasn't it like 3 years ago, broccoli would kill you, some shit like that?
Broccoli,
swallow
Flint's
that whole
water,
tree.
shit, it's still killing people.
Yo, have you heard about this? That what was it? The raw water or whatever?
Nah.
I don't know. It's somewhere I can't remember. It's something crazy like when you drink like water with like before it's like filtered out or some shit like that, and it's got a bunch of like carbon in it or some shit fucking people up.
Oh shit.
I gotta Google that shit real quick.
I don't know, but if God says today is my day to die by water from drinking water, I think that was the way I was meant to go.
Yo, I'm gonna die when I'm 94 years old choking on the donut. I've had
Come
3
on.
dreams about it.
At 94?
94
How do
years
you know
old.
94 on the nose?
Huh?
That's a weird year.
I don't know. In the
He just
dream, I
does.
kept seeing the number 94. I'm telling you, I had this
Hey,
dream 3 separate times. I died choking on the donut. 94 years
Oh,
old.
you're gonna die old as hell. I know that.
Huh?
You're gonna die old. That shit
I
gonna
believe
be-
it was my favorite though, which is sugar raised. Mm.
Mm. What a way to go. At least it wasn't by a robot.
Yo,
in a few minutes. I'm almost done.
I'm not trying to die by. I'm not trying to die by them.
Anybody think it's weird that, like, yeah, I know the robots are definitely going to kill us all and all that, but it's weird that, like, one of the first things this robot wants to do is make more life and not just kill us all. I'm kind of shocked
Oh, no.
about that a little bit.
I think it's
That's not shocking. They need a team.
All right, y'all ready? My bad. Raw water is water found in the environment that has not been treated. It does not have any of its minerals, ions, particles, bacteria, or parasites removed. Raw water includes rainwater, groundwater, water from infiltration wells, and water from bodies like lakes and rivers.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm good. That sounds like some white.
Well, we've all drank rainwater. You ain't never go outside and put your mouth open while it was raining. We've all done that.
Snowflakes.
I've drank snowflakes. I've tasted rainwater, snowflakes.
Yeah, but have you drank it at 20? Have you stood there for 20 ounces? Just
I would hope not. I'm just standing there like that. I'll be dead. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying these motherfuckers is going to, to wells and just scooping up water with a bottle. Like, you should get righteous. Like, nah, I'm not doing none of that. I won't even drink aquafina, man.
I eat food past the expiration date as long as it's within that time frame. I'm getting my body prepared because when y'all not gonna have all these luxuries when the shit go down. My mama been getting me ready for this shit. Okay, we know how to eat whatever is there. We know how to drink the water whenever we need to drink the water. We gonna survive. I don't get sick that much.
Yes, sir.
Where the fuck you pulling these articles from? Cause this is shit only white people do, man.
This is some global shit.
I watched it on the day. I saw about the raw water on the Daily Show. Trevor Noah was talking about it, and what happened this week because a bunch of people was getting sick from it. And I'm like,
Trevor Noah, ain't he from across the pond?
Yeah.
He from the motherland. He blacker than all of us.
A lot of people in Africa drink out the streams and the wells and
No, but he ain't. That's something happening in America, not in Africa. In Africa, they used to They're like, I mean, certain sections,
Yeah,
like
but
just like in Mexico, you can go to Mexico and drink. Like Mexicans could drink Mexico water all day long. We go out
because
there,
they live
you
in
on the
it.
toilet with it. So
Okay. Yeah, I just be wondering, man, cause you be talking about robots and meteorites and androids and all of this shit. I be like, what the fuck is what news you researching, man?
I want
Cause
everything,
Nah, that shit been out
everything.
here.
But that
I watch it.
road,
I just don't let it affect me. Like I know about the shit. I just don't let it take over my life.
what you
it
trying to
just
say? This
gets
should
me
take
though,
over my
cause
life.
yeah, I guess I
I'm
should.
not. I'm saying it just doesn't affect me. Like I said, you walk out the house, there's a million things that can kill you. It's
Oh
stuff we
yeah,
learn about every day that's gonna kill us, and we already know this is like signs of the end times with all the weather issues and the world issues. Just live your fucking life. Like it's so much shit that's gonna kill you. So much
Yeah,
shit that could kill you, and then you can end up living to you 150 or whatever the case may be, because they
but I'm still
cryogenics
fuck.
your ass or whatever.
oh,
I'm
listen,
still.
I'm always chilling. Yo, I didn't knock on death door a few times. Remember, I didn't been shot a few times. One more and I'm rapping. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
But
still
I be
fucked
chilling.
up though. I'm still fucked up though, cause you say Sophie,
Yeah.
ain't that her name?
Hmm.
Okay, so is it a Earl or is it a dude? Is it a dude
Probably a day.
android over there too? Okay, so how the fuck she gonna have a baby?
Because she's learning the world. Like the artificial intelligence starts off as a baby. You know what I'm saying? She's just, but I'm talking about the fact of like that at 4 years old, she now has learned enough to understand that she wants. Remember, it's not about like, oh, I want a baby to walk around with. It's about procreation. Like she's coming to the realization that I'm the only one of my kind. There needs to be another one of me because she's learning about us. She's watching us. You know what I'm saying?
So it begins.
Even
That's
before
what I'm
you can wrap
saying.
this shit.
I love
That's
it.
what I'm saying. We're not talking about the fact that, yo, artificial intelligence is possibly coming to the realization that I'm the only one of my kind. I
Tori,
want more of me.
Tori,
Y'all
she a
guns up. That's all
robot.
I'm gonna say. Get your guns up, people.
She a
Whether it's a
robot,
race war
Tori.
or a robot war, get your motherfucking weapons
What does that mean?
together.
Do me a favor. You got your phone with you right there, right?
Yep.
You know they say I know a little bit about this algorithm thing and how to write code, so
Hmm.
I understand a little bit about it. Type in E under Google search and tell me what's the first thing come up.
E?
Yeah,
Why is he doing this?
I don't know, but don't get me in jail.
Y'all about to take it down a rabbit hole. After you do that, we can wrap it up.
It
yeah.
says
I just
events. It says events happening in Northeastern PA on October 16th. Endeavor 21 Plus Foundation Inc. Spring Valley. Edible Leftovers Inc. Influent.
okay.
What
That's
you think it
everything
was
that
saying?
you've been thinking about the last 2 days, right?
Oh, okay. I searched it. Never mind. The E cable show came up. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
all
E
the things with
online.
E. Yeah, because those are oh yeah. If you ask, oh, you going through what it comes up in my search? Yeah, events, eBay, ET, because I was looking at that the other day because ET is weird. Um, listen,
I ain't
the
drunk.
overall point is the robot realizes at 4 years old that she is alone. What's gonna happen in 10 more years? What's she gonna learn? You have kids. Do your kids at 4 years old, would a 4-year-old fundamentally understand, like, yo, I'm the only one of my kind and I need to make more of me? I want
Yes.
more of me.
Hell no, cause they know I'll fuck them up.
I say
That's
yes
what the
because
robot
we
need to
thinking about just
understand.
us.
That hey, I made you, bitch. I'll fuck you up if you try anything.
That's a
Like,
black
see,
daddy.
they too nice with this motherfucking robot. You gonna make a robot there, have the robot tell you, oh, I need to make more of me. How?
Because it's artificial intelligence.
So they can't kill the robot?
I'm sure they can kill a robot, but the robot is thinking on its own. It's not a robot like your phone or a computer. It's thinking on its own.
Corey.
Okay,
Yeah.
so listen.
Okay, I ain't gonna understand this. So like,
Okay, check it out like this. This is Dream, right? Dream is under 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
He can have a baby at 1.
Mm-hmm.
And dogs they age faster than humans do. So I think when you think of it like that, you don't have to just think of it like in a human perspective, because animals go according to, how to procreate to keep the lineage going. That's just what they do naturally. So even though she could probably think like us, she could still think like an animal and wanting to naturally have those urges to keep the lineage going. So I think of her like an animal. I don't think of her like a person. I think of her like a
computer.
machine.
She got porn going through her
Wow.
like,
See, he thinking of her like him. She not like you.
see everything on the internet. Like it go through her eyes. Like come on, man.
Yo, I think you watch a lot more science fiction movies than you let on, EJ. Because that's those
right there.
I got the Terminator 2 thing queued up, but we don't want no copyright strikes.
She got a memory board.
Yo, listen, we gonna really investigate on whether or not you. I'm about to start asking you some questions and really looking at your eyes on some of these science fiction movies, EJ, because that sounds like you might have a secret thing for science fiction movies. You might be a secret MCU. Or we gonna try to change you over?
Man, if you could see my category, I got.
Nigga, I know you don't got DVDs.
Who? Damn right, nigga. I got the old school shit. Richard Pryor, Bingo Long All Stars, like old school shit. I can't get them on more motherfucking download. These stay right here, no scratches. When I wanted to look at it, I laugh my motherfucking ass off.
Yeah. Yo, I think that's a good spot to leave it with EJ saying he laughs his motherfucking ass off. Yo, love one another. We all human beings, so let humans be. All right?
You remember this?
And remember, oh my God, nice. Listen, you have to make your merry-go-round, so y'all motherfuckers let yourselves be yourselves. Peace.
Holla.